Look at the UVTV, motherfucker. I'm here to kick spiritual ass seduce for my people. Oh, God. Neon looking for featherman, yeah. And today I'm going to be talking about overstanding, not understanding. No, we overstanding above the horizon shit. And then we go below the horizon. And then based upon what's the below the horizon is going to be below of what we going above type shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be with the angels, aka have a higher angle how to look at something, and then it's going to get deified and become demonic or feminine or negative or condensed to where it can get, you know what I'm saying? It can be relative based upon of something that's out of something, out of this world, and then we're gonna make it a part of the world, make it relative inside of something, a womb and shit. But we're gonna be overstanding the incel mentality, the mental jail cell of having validation issues. Now, an incel means involuntarily celibate, right? So yeah, like I understand because I'm gonna be using certain terminology and shit to make it make sense. Because I'm trying to make y'all understand the mentality in itself. It's really just a spectrum of being a degenerate, but it's just a specific shaping form of a type of degenerate. So, incel is just a type of degenerate, and then being degenerate is anytime you're doing something that's degenerative. So it's like look at that as like it's not generating something. It's dying something out. You're trying to decay that ability to generate something new, to create something new. So it's dying. You're beating a dead horse. It's decaying. It's deteriorating. It's going through a death. So it's the epitome of from it going through that transition, that transformation of it starting to die out. You're gonna have to find a way to make it be reborn. You know what I'm saying? Make something else that's created, that's born into existence. But the more you fixate on that death and stuff like that, you're gonna get too lost into that pocket of time. So you're gonna be you basically gonna end up using things based upon death as a mental crutch of some like it's basically like what the fuck I just said. Like you being a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? You have to use some type of dead consciousness. You know what I'm saying? You have to use some like deteriorated mentality and stuff like that. You have to utilize that as a mental crutch because you can't create a new way or a new outlook or a new viewpoint of how to look at something for the most part. So you're in something, right? But hold on. I'm gonna bring down this first, this knowledge first, and then I'm gonna get to that. So, incel just means involuntarily celibate, right? Now, if you incel, you in a cell. So it's like being in a mentality. You're in a mental jail cell. So you're in something. So from you being in something, you're agreeing to the terms and conditions of being inside something. Now, your first body is your mind, your thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, right? And then your second body is the flesh, the physical. And then we make external tools and technology from the flesh. So it's a mentality thing first. So it's something you're doing in your mind first before it start getting physical and stuff like that. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna make examples. But before we even start getting grounded, when it comes to the flesh and the physical and stuff like that, you have to understand it's a mentality though. And I'm trying to make y'all understand how y'all even get this mentality. Because some of y'all actually be incels without like, you know what I'm saying? You think just because you don't act in the qualities of how to look at incels, like some motherfucker who chronically online and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker who can fuck a million bad bitches, you still act like an incel. That like it's a mentality thing. Like you think like an incel. Like yeah, you get bitches, but you still act like a fucking incel. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you can be a female and stuff like that. Nigga, you can suck a million dicks. You still think like an incel though. It's always gonna go based upon that starting point. Now, an incel is just you're in a cell. So it's like being in a room. You're in a cell. You're in a mental jail cell. You know what I'm saying? And you threw away the key. So you're putting yourself in something. You're putting yourself in a certain thought, a certain idea, a certain feeling, a certain ideology, a certain theology or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And you putting yourself in that cell and you threw away the key. You're purposely putting yourself in a straitjacket, but you the one who you the one who asked for the type of straitjacket that you want and the color and stuff like that, and the name tag and all that type shit, and you put yourself in that. You put yourself in that fucking straitjacket. You know what I'm saying? You are agreeing to the terms and conditions. Oh yeah, I'm crazy as fuck, and I'm volunteering to put myself in this straitjacket. Now I know motherfuckers gonna be looking at it like, oh, but it means involuntary, so it's beyond their free will and stuff like that. No, the mentality when we start talking spiritual and stuff like that, there's no such thing as good and bad in that world, right? When we talk about the metaphysics and the spirituality of how this becomes a mentality in the first place, and then they get played out through physical characteristics. No, you're volunteering to be into that mentality and stuff like that. You're choosing to do that. You're choosing to pay attention to certain thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions to put yourself in that mentality, just in general. So an incel, right? We know it means involuntary celibate. You're involuntarily being celibate, right? So it's people who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite this desire on one. Now, I know based upon the representation we have in the world and the way we look at it when we see it play out in the physical, y'all look at it like, okay, these are people defining themselves as people who can't get no pussy. They can't get no dick. So they act out incel, femcel qualities and characteristics and stuff like that, right? And they're involuntarily celibate. So they feel like because of the way I act and what I'm into and my behaviors and me as a person and stuff like that, I can't get no pussy. I can't get no dick. I'm abstinent and celibate. I'm not fucking nobody involuntarily. They're convincing themselves see, that's why I said earlier, it's something that they're doing to themselves because it's a mentality type thing. You're making yourself involuntary type shit. You have to agree to that. You have to agree because what the fuck I just said. People who define themselves, you're agreeing to that mentality, that thought, that idea that, oh, I can't get no bitches. Oh, I'm it's out of my free will. I can't get nobody to fuck me and stuff like that. I can't get no bitches. I can't get no pussy. I can't get no dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're agreeing to that mentality first. You're agreeing that you have a lack of character type shit. You're agreeing you have a lack of a know-how. You have a lack of a will. You have a weak will. You have a weak spirit. You have a weak space. You have a weak creative ability. You have a weak discipline and stuff like that. You lack self-control type shit. Like, you have a weak mentality. So from you involuntarily, not involuntary, from you volunteering to be celibate, you feel like you're involuntary. So you feeling like you're inadequate. Anybody who defines themselves like an incel, you're putting yourself in a straitjacket. You're putting yourself in a mental jail cell. You feel like you have an inability to fuck somebody. That's what you're doing though. Before it starts turning into self-projection and stuff like that, because y'all like making yourself victims. No, you making yourself do that. You saying that to yourself, damn, I feel like there's something in the universe that make it so I just can't find a way to find the will, the passion, the motivation, the creativity to create a situation to help, to build myself up, to put myself in a experience and scenario to where I can get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're in a jail cell, aka a room, voluntarily, aka you're giving your power away to voluntarily be abstinent from sexual activity. Now, when it comes to sex and things of that nature, it's based upon the reproductive organs, right? So men got a dick and balls. Women got a pussy. They have a womb. So it's based upon externalizing and internalizing. Men are walking frequencies, and then women are walking vibrations. Men like to project. They like to externalize. They like to think based upon a thought idea. This ain't no spooky shit. Women like to receive. They like to receive. They like being part of reception and stuff like that. They like to, you know what I'm saying? Like they like to internalize things, right? From them being in that feminine energy. What is that? You being you redirecting. They like to react to shit. Men like to act. Women like to react. So based upon that, men like to be into their thoughts and ideas. They don't like dealing with their emotions and feelings. We see these qualities all the fucking time. Oh, men don't know how to be vulnerable. Oh, men don't know how to have emotional intelligence and stuff like that. Men don't know how to acknowledge their feminine side and things of that nature. And then women right? They like to be into their feelings and emotions. Oh, woman logic don't really have no logic. They just be right there responding to whatever mood that they in at the moment. So inherently, right, the woman would be more right brain. They go based upon their imagination, their creativity, their intuition, an emotion, a feeling. And then men would be more left brain. They like to build themselves up. They like to be more in an ego. And then women would be more ego less, right? So men like to be in a thought idea. They like to build, in quotations. They like to build. They like to externalize. You know what I'm saying? They like to act like a hyper masculine macho man and stuff like that. Oh yeah, he's that guy. He's that nigga. He's that guy. He's the man and stuff like that. So from them being a man, they like to direct shit. The same way how they have a dick and balls. They like to, you know what I'm saying? They gonna drop they nuts. They gonna try to, hey, bitch, you gonna take the dick. They like to direct shit. The same way how they get erection and stuff like that. They like to direct stuff. They like to be the creative director of energy. They like being the father, the farthest light. Oh, I like to go the distance of what I'm trying to direct for myself. And then women have a womb. They have a pussy. They have a vagina. They like to take things in. The same way how a dick go inside a vagina and stuff like that. From the nigga projecting something out, the woman is gonna end up receiving something, and then she get the esoteric orgasm and stuff like that. Like all this is like, all these things are like energies. These are like energies. So it's like what I just said. Oh, a man who has a masculine side, and then a man who got a feminine side. A woman who has a feminine side, and a woman who has a masculine side. And we always gonna be doing the opposite polarity, right? So men always want to be needed. They always want to be a part of something because they always want to be projecting, externalizing. They have to be the provider. They have to be the man. They have to look macho. They have to, you know what I'm saying, have the mental resilience because they always want to externalize a certain image of who they is. And they be scared to show their feminine qualities, aka their internal qualities, how they feel inside. They want to keep up that appearance of who they is. They like to self-project, and then women like to self-reflect. And we always want to do the opposite energy. So men, since they're so good with the left brain, the thought and idea, and directing shit, they want to learn how to be in a comfort zone. They want to learn how to redirect. They want to learn how to be an emotional feeling. They want to learn how to have emotional intelligence. And then women, they like to be wanted. They already know how to be a part of something. They already know how to be the mother. They already know how to nurture and care for something. They already know how to do that. So they want to have man-like qualities, masculine type of qualities and stuff like that. They want to be able to not condense into a mind to where it creates an emotion and feeling, because it's a process. You have an idea. That's a spark. You have a thought. So you start thinking about the idea about the ideology that you just made up and created. And then that thought, after you thought about it for so long, is going to turn to a feeling. So off of that feeling, it's going to turn to an emotion. An emotion is just a specific type of feeling. So the same way how we have different emojis and stuff like that, like laughter, anger, sadness, happiness, confused, perplexed. You know what I'm saying? Breathing emojis and all that type of shit. It's an emoticon. An emoji is just a specific emotion, because you could feel some way about something, but you can't explain how you feel. They don't got a specific emoji for that feeling at the moment. You can't describe the feeling that you got, but you feel something about it based upon the thought and idea of, you know what I'm saying, the initial ideology that you just created. You're thinking, but and you have a certain feeling, but you can't describe that specific feeling. You can't describe that specific desire at the moment. You know what I'm saying? You don't got that esoteric emoji. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make all this shit make sense. So the incel mentality, right, is going to go back into you putting yourself in that straitjacket. You putting yourself in that mental jail cell. You feel like, I can't get no dick. I can't get no bitches. So you act like incel, femcel. And then men, they're going to be way more into self-projecting energy. And then women like to be more into self-reflection energy. So they like to put themselves in a victim type of mentality, even though the whole thing is incel mentality is victim mentality just in general. I'm just saying on a percentage scale, oh, the woman gonna do this a little bit more, and the men gonna do this a little bit more. The men self-projecting about them not knowing how to deal with their internal energies, and then the women self-projecting about them not knowing how to self-project. You know what I'm saying? So like just in general, they both don't know how to deal with their internal energies, and it's all over the fucking place. But from them being men and women, they're always gonna try to have the opposite quality and stuff like that. Oh, a man want to learn how to actually have emotional intelligence, and then a woman want to learn how to be a strong woman, but she has to learn how to lighten up her load and not get too lost into a certain mood that she in, and just look at the thought and idea of how does she want to direct that feeling and emotion. So when you direct it in the right area, in the right room, in the right area, right, in the right parameter, that's what make you a better woman. And then the man, when you learn how to actually self-reflect and self-introspect about how you feel about that, and you can describe the emotion and stuff like that, man, you start talking like me and stuff like that. I start making sense. I start making sense out of everything. And then you learn how to self-reflect, right? And then when you learn how to deal with the internal energies and self-reflect and self-introspect, you can come as yourself for real, and you know how to self-project so you can direct the energy in the right areas. Like, that's it. You learn how to build yourself up. That's it. That's all. So it's a mentality thing first. So based upon the mentality, it's a thought, idea, feeling, and emotion. So boom, boom. All right, look. So based upon that, right? It's like what I just said. Incels are people who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Sex is based upon the masculine and feminine, the man and woman, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Dick go inside a pussy and all that type of shit. Orgasm. Y'all be having sex in the mind first, though. So from you having sex within the mind, it's like what I just said, the men and women, before it becomes male and female, men and women and stuff like that, it's the masculine and feminine energies. The masculine is a thought idea. The feminine is the feeling emotion. You're having sex within the mind first. So from you doing that within the mind, right? That's how you gain that passion and motivation and that adrenaline to be motivated to do what you want to do and stuff like that, right? You have to have an idea, and then you have to think about the initial idea that you just had that sparked off that ideology, and then you start creating a certain feeling about it, and then you're gonna start essentially moving, which is just an emotion. You're gonna create a specific desire, a specific emoji, a specific emotion to what you're feeling, because it's just a collection of feelings, and then it's gonna turn to a specific type of emotion, and whatever emotion that you in is gonna create your character and your behavior and the representation of how you want to be seen. Right? And then people are going to receive the perception of whatever you're perceiving. Right? So you have sex within the mind first. So from you being in the incel mind, right, you putting yourself in a mental jail cell of not knowing how to deal with your internal energies, the mentality of it all, your thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions. So from you having sex within the mind, that means every time you try to have sex within the mind and stuff like that, you either lack the feminine quality or you lack the masculine quality. You either lack the way of developing a good thought and idea that's fruitful, or you lack the feminine quality and stuff like that. You lack learning how to internalize something. You know what I'm saying? You lack creativity. You lack imagination. You lack you know what I'm saying, like right brain shit. You lack listening to your own intuition and stuff like that. The minute it start turning into, oh, you have to probably get away from some type of logic, some type of scientific method, some type of methodology and stuff like that, right? Some logic and rationality that has nothing to do with the relativity of the physical world and stuff like that. Because I know men be sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm going based upon the facts, the car facts. I need the facts of this. I need the logic behind this. I need to make this make sense. Oh yeah, that thing is so unpractical. Why is this woman in this emotion and feeling? This is so unrealistic. This is so you lack creativity then, bro. Like, you lack intuition. You lack imagination. You know how like women be saying, oh, female intuition and stuff like that? Yeah, they naturally have that shit. You lack that femininity. You don't know how to internalize something. You don't know how to receive information the right way. You only want to receive it in a way of how it makes sense of something outside of you. You get it? You know what I'm saying? That's why they think like that just in general. And you end up being like a theist and be getting to theism and stuff like that. A theist is just an atheist. That's it. You're just a type of theist. So you just made up some type of theology or ideology about the world, about what the world is doing outside of you. So you need some scientific method, some methodology, some physical experience to understand what the fuck you're looking at based upon what you're observing and things of that nature. When we can see in life gonna hit you in curveballs and ups and downs and stuff like that. Sometimes some shit just ain't gonna make no goddamn sense. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to roll with the punches. You have to just go with the flow. Like, damn, that was some crazy ass shit. And Like I was born in the hood, and this crazy ass shit be happening in the hood all the time because of this, that, and the third. And you trying to sit there like some type of geek nerd ass motherfucker. You trying to make sense of it all, man. You gonna keep getting hit, bro. You gonna keep getting fucking punched in your nuts and stuff like that, man. Be a man, bro. Like what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like you putting too much time and energy into like some some nerd geek shit instead of trying to actually gain some awareness, some experience, some goddamn emotional intelligence about what the fuck going on. You keep on trying to use some like logic methodology, like it's a method behind the madness type of quality or something like that. Or if I just, you know what I'm saying? Like if I just do enough research because of this, then the third, when at the same time you have to experience real life and stuff like that. I'm just using that as an example, bro. Bro, like you can't always just rely on what makes sense based upon logic and rationality, and you can't always go based upon your intuition either. So you need to learn how to have a balance between both. So the masculine and feminine. So from you not learning how to have sex within the mind first and stuff like that, and you lack that quality, you lack that creativity, you lack the intuition, you lack the imagination, you lack the productivity and stuff like that. Oh, you lack the logic, you lack the practicality, you lack the rationality and stuff like that. You lack the researching quality, the analytical quality, or something like that. So that's like left brain shit, right? You know what I'm saying? You lack building quality, or you lack supporting type of quality, nurturing type of quality. You lack your feminine side, or you lack your masculine side. It don't matter what gender you is. You just lack something. You're in lack of something. That's why you feel like you're involuntarily a celibate. You feel like you can't will into existence for you to get some pussy and stuff like that. And you have to do degenerate things to be able to even get that. Or you want someone to basically give you grace, like, yeah, I know I'm a degenerate and stuff like that, and I lack certain qualities as a man or a woman and stuff like that, but please give me some pussy, please spare me some change, please spare me some dick, please, bro, please, I need that shit, please, bro, come on, homie, chill, homie, slide, man, come on, bro, please, bro, come on, five, come on, five, come on, five, come on, five, I need some pussy, five, come on, five, I need some dick, five, come on. Come on, yeah, come on. So, just in general, that's what lead to that objectifying and belittling type of energy and stuff like that. That self-projection type of energy, just in general, because they lack something within themselves. That's why they feel like they can't will something into existence so they can get some dick or some pussy and stuff like that. And that's why they abstinent. And they start self-projecting they bullshit because they don't know how to deal with their trash, aka what they lack. They don't know how to fulfill that space themselves. They don't know how to build themselves up. They always gonna blame something outside themselves because they don't know how to deal with some internal energy about themselves. They can't be vulnerable and self-introspect right and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to stop being a dead horse and try to figure out, well, maybe I need to do this when it comes to my character or my behavior, and then it can put me in a better situation and stuff like that. And maybe I can create some new type of charisma or new type of method. Maybe I could start working out. I can make it like physical and stuff like that. Oh, let me start working out in the gym and stuff like that. Let me start going outside my comfort zone. Let me start going outside. Let me try to up my confidence because of this, that, and the third. Let me not try to let the world revolve around me and stuff like that. Let me just try to make certain qualities down within the world and make them more relatable. So it go towards, like, you know what I'm saying? It can start getting individualized. It can start getting personalized and stuff like that. Because, you know, I still got my own personality and stuff like that. Let me try to develop that more and stuff like that. Let me work on me as a person. Let me try to put myself first, not try to self-project. And I'm like, oh, it's everybody else's fault and stuff like that. But it got nothing to do with my ass. No, it's everything to do with that. You just sound like some incel, rip pill, feminist bitch or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Some police bitch. But, just in general, right? Boom, I'm gonna get into the characteristics. So they can't handle rejection. That's a feminine quality. That's a bitch quality. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't handle rejection and stuff like that, right? The same way how men ejaculate, it's like what I just said with the masculine energy, right? Externalizing, providing something, giving something out. And then the feminine quality is internalizing. The yin energy, you taking something in, you're receiving something of what already got perceived and stuff like that. So if you can't handle rejection, you can't handle being received in a certain light and stuff like that, you lack creativity. That means you can't create another thought, another idea of how to make it so, oh, I can ejaculate something. And then I know I'm using vulgar language and stuff like that, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. I can't externalize or make a new type of character and stuff like that. I can't You know what I'm saying? I can't make some new thought and idea of how to be seen just in general and stuff like that. I can't provide some new type of product that's outside the pocket of what they thought I was capable of. So because I lack that thing, I'm gonna just stick to my comfort zone and use my same artillery and stuff like that. My same ability, my same talent. I'm doing the same thing over and over. It's starting to get old, like a fucking the baby flow or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Using the same shit, the same thing over and over, and beating a dead horse. Find something else. It's starting to get old at this point. Bring some new type of energy, just in general. So it leads to what? Social isolation and stuff like that. So based upon you socially isolating yourself, you're doing that within the mind too. So you're trying to isolate some new type of qualities. You want to stick to your same weaponry because you don't know how to deal with some internal energies and stuff like that, right? So and then after that it leads to resentment and hostility and objectifying someone's autonomy. So based upon some, like, you know what I'm saying, like what they call that shit, like sexual objectification and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You just like looking at men and women like objects. Oh, I'm only here for that dick and stuff like that. Or I'm only there for that twat or that pussy or some shit like that. Like, yeah, like sexual objectification and stuff like that. The reason you're objectifying them is because you're getting so lost into the flesh, the physical, the death realm and stuff like that. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything goes based upon like a birth, life, death, and stuff like that. You get born into existence, so that's like your spirit, your essence, and then it gets brought to life. So it's gonna turn to some type of thought, idea, feeling, emotion, and then you're gonna end up experiencing it for a certain point in time before it expires. So that's what happens when, you know what I'm saying, we you know what I'm saying, we gonna die one day type shit. You know what I'm saying? We all human and stuff like that. But like that's a process though. Like, yeah, like the same way how you're not doing the same shit you was doing 5 years ago and you're doing something different now. You have a different way of how to look at it. You have a different type of awareness based upon the different experiences and different ways of thinking and things of that nature, right? So you let those thought forms, those feelings go, and then now you have new type of feelings because you went through more experiences and you have a broader comprehension, or at least you should be trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's you sexually objectifying. So because you don't know how to deal with the sex within the mind, the thought, idea, feeling, emotion, you start objectifying that in the flesh because you don't actually want to deal with something inside yourself. It's always going to go based upon something that's outside yourself first, and you doing things from the outside in, not from the inside out. You letting the world dictate what's going on inside of you, and you thinking, oh, it's the world and it's not me. No, it is you, nigga. It is something inside yourself type shit. So it just leads to idol worship and mental crutches. You have to rely on the mental crutch of certain ideologies of how you feel like you should court a woman or how you should court a man and why you deserve to get some type of pussy or why you deserve to get some type of dick and stuff like that, but you don't want to deal with the masculine and feminine qualities. You don't want to deal with a man being a man, and you don't want to deal with a woman being a woman. You don't want to deal with a woman having some type of emotion and feeling about your degenerate qualities and stuff like that. You just want to fuck her and then unplug her like she a robot or some shit, when life is not that. She a whole sentient human being. There's no such thing as that. Get the fuck on somewhere. And then if you a goddamn woman and stuff like that, and a nigga gotta give me some money and do this, that, and the third, and I ain't gonna listen unless you provide him because of this, that, and the third, and I'm only there for you to drop dick because this, that, and the third, like the nigga don't got no goddamn feelings and stuff like that, and you ain't shit either and stuff like that. You just want to be, okay, if you want to be that so bad, okay, you just be the fucking example of what that shit is then. But at that point, all them niggas gonna be looking at your ass like, damn, you like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you act like a nigga. Like, you have no feminine qualities. Like, you have no emotional intelligence and stuff like that. You just trying to get your fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, like, it get real degenerate after a while. So it don't matter what side you on. It is going to lead to some type of dehumanization of men and women. AKA, you're beating a dead horse of not being able to be one of a kind. So from you not being able to create some one of a kind, individualized quality to deal with your masculine and feminine qualities just in general is either going to lead to misogyny or misandry and stuff like that. So you lack masculine and feminine qualities, and you have a sense of entitlement to sex because you lack being able to have sex within the mind. You can't follow a process. You trying to do something in reverse type shit. That's like you trying to reach a conclusion or something, but you didn't even do the starting point yet. You just want people to idol worship you and just give you what you want without putting no type of work in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, you're just going to be an endorsement of sexual and non-sexual violence just in general because you just want to take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, take that. Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying? You end up doing that shit by force, because if you have to force something and you can't naturally and organically get someone to fuck with you and stuff like that, that let you know you ain't shit. That let you know you ain't shit. You have no creativity. You have no character. You have no good personality. You have no good virtual qualities, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have nothing to offer and stuff like that. You just bitching. Like, that's it. Like, so at that point, you ain't no high value man or woman and stuff like that. You don't even value your goddamn self. Like, that's it. So anytime they start using that argument, oh yeah, they be going for high status men and women and stuff like that, right? Oh yeah, they always go for the high status man, the high status woman, because of this and the third. You can't be high value and of high status without being rich in spirit first. You have to believe that and be the thing of what you are first. You have to show what you do and what you're capable of. You have to believe that in your mind first, though. You know what I'm saying? So even if you a broke motherfucker, you rich in spirit. So you always gonna have the spirit. It don't matter if you broke as hell. You still gonna be smiling and stuff like that. You still gonna be like, man, it could be way worse and stuff like that. You still want to be alive. You still want to be sentient and stuff like that. You still gonna be living the same goddamn life, even if you got $1 million and stuff like that, because you real and you know how to be authentic. You have the gift, you have the talent, you have the proactivity and stuff like that. You have the passion, you have the intention and stuff like that. You ain't letting the world dictate how you want to look at the world just in general and stuff like that. You're gonna be living your goddamn life. Man, it don't matter what scenario you're in and stuff like that. You ain't gonna stop that from being you, even in death before dishonor, motherfucker. You gonna be in some type of virtue and principle and some honor of what you trying to have some type of trust and faith in your goddamn self and your ability to have some type of passion and motivation or some type of creativity based upon what you want for your goddamn self, and not letting the world try to dictate of what God is or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Of what it means to be successful, what it means to have some type of quality and stuff like that, what it means to be a good person or some shit like that. You know what that means to you first. You know what I'm saying? And then you can make that relative and make that a part of the world just in general. So you're going to pay attention to how everyone else how to go about it, and then you can still resonate. You can still make it. You can still make a pocket. If you so creative, you can make a pocket to where it don't matter what level of life they on, high class or low class, right? Motherfuckers gonna be trying to listen to you and your authenticity, your self-expression, because it's in you, not on you. And then that's all. Because your status is the quantity, quality, and the measurement of how a person can maintain a certain position. And that's all that is for the most part. So when they be saying that high status, oh, this motherfucker got $1 million and stuff like that. No, they like the fact they able to build themselves up, though. It's about how they got the $1 million. If they got that $1 million because of nepotism and stuff like that, that's going to get burnt out after a while. And you have to get lost into the materialism of what they're trying to cover up. They're trying to cover up the fact of, oh, I got gifted this $1 million because of nepotism, but I didn't work my ass off about something. Oh, yeah, I got all these different connections and stuff like that, but oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have all these connections and stuff like that, but like, that's based upon what my parents did. I ain't do no shit yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why it be so important for niggas to build themselves up first and have some type of sex within the mind first and have some type of fertility within the mind first, so they always have some new type of creativity, some new type of fruit that everyone can be a part of and stuff like that, some new type of artist that everyone is starting to attract towards based upon what they're paying attention to. They're paying attention to some renewal type of qualities. So they trying to find a new pocket, a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? They're actually with God in all possibilities. So based upon all possibilities, based upon the spirit that you in, you are a highly spirited person. So you always going to have a lot of life. You're going to be very lively, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot to offer to the world just in general. So when you lack that quality and you put yourself in a straitjacket in a mental jail cell, that means you lack that masculine. You lack that dawn idea. You lack that feminine. You lack that feminine emotion. You lack that receiving energy. You lack that external energy. You lack the progressive energy. You lack the regressive energy. You lack you know what I'm saying? You just don't got it, nigga. You don't got it. You don't got it, nigga. You don't got it. And then you want people to give you grace because you don't fucking got it. No, how about you deal with something inside yourself so you can show some real qualities of who you is based upon the essence of who you is. Not some, oh, I need this material thing in front of me and stuff like that. Oh, nah, I need this credential in front of me and stuff like that. Oh, I need this degree in front of me or some shit like that. Oh, I need you to serve me based upon me feeling like, oh, I'm not able to get no pussy because of this, that, and the third. Like, you should just be giving it to you. Like, look at all the things I did for you. You should be grateful. I did all these material things because of this, that, and the third. No, nigga, you just some bitch. Shut up. Oh, God. Like,